Pray for those who are stuck in cycles of poverty, who are in deficit. We pray for those who are affected most by the cost of living crisis, including our local businesses and key workers. Help us know how best to support those who are suffering from the effects of this. Lord, we pray for Peter Lorraine as Peter's duty as chair come to an end. We give thanks for his leadership and service, his encouragement, also for the awareness and funds that have been raised for his charities. We pray blessings on the work of the League of Chairs and the charities they will support in future. We pray for the incoming chair too. Lord, hear our prayers. Amen.
Please be seated, everyone. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for that, Councillor Bray, and for agreeing to stand in at the last moment there. It's much appreciated. So thank you very much. We'll welcome everybody to what is a very important meeting this evening, and it's it's quite a sort of an emotional meeting for myself and many members here. I certainly would like to welcome all the new members that we have here this evening, and congratulate all those new members on being elected, and indeed congratulations to all members for being re-elected as well. So we'll move swiftly on to item 1 on the agenda, which is the report of the returning officer.
Thank you, Chairman. It's as per the report on your agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 2 on the agenda, apologies for absence.
Thank you, Chairman. I've received no apologies for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. And number 3 is retiring chairman's announcements. I have 1 or 2. Please bear with me. Excuse me. At the last full council meeting back on the 2nd of March, I said many of my thank yous, to include some members who I knew that would not be here this evening. However, I hope you will indulge me one more time. I cannot believe how fast this year has gone by. Past chairman, Councillors Land and Councillor Bray, both warned me how fast this year will go by, and they were absolutely spot on. It's flown by. And I sit here tonight, I really do wish I had another year. As your chairman, I've tried my very best and gave it my all to support as many people as I could, raising the profile and showing support to various charities, groups and businesses. I made a conscious decision at the start to turn down as many of the out of district events and dinners so that I could say yes to even more events here at home in Tendring. I've met some incredible people doing incredible things during this year. And I want to pay tribute to all those amazing volunteers, charities, local business owners and entrepreneurs across our district that make Tendring such a great place to live. Many of these were celebrated at the Pride of Tendring Awards, which really was one of the highlights of my year. And once again, I'd like to thank our amazing officers and staff at Tendring District Council. They really are a superb team led by fantastic Chief Executive Ian Davidson. And to them I say thank you for all the support you have given me. I particularly want to pay tribute to our tremendous armed forces veterans and their support groups across Tendring. For me personally, it has been a great privilege to work with so many of them. I was also honoured to be made an ambassador for one such support charity, UK Homes for Heroes. These are people that have given and are willing to sacrifice so much for our country, democracy, and our freedom. And as we all sit here in this chamber tonight, following the democratic process, just one look at the tyrant Putin demonstrates just how important our armed forces are and how fragile peace can be. It is also very reassuring to have the parachute regiment on our doorstep. This council's relationship with the armed forces is strong. Last year, Tendring District Council received the Gold Award as part of the Ministry of Defence Employer Recognition Scheme, and that should be rightly celebrated. However, many of these veterans are sadly still fighting their own battles today, suffering from PTSD, mental health issues, and homelessness. I firmly believe as a country and local district council, we can do more to support them. One legacy I leave in the chairman's parlour is the old bar restocked with rum and port, which is used as a traditional toast whenever I invited our veterans back after a memorial event. Our very own Royal Navy veteran, Councillor Talbot, will affirm several times. It went down very well. I would like to hasten to add as well that I paid for the drink, not the council. And I'm sure that whoever the new chairman will be, will want to continue this military tradition and keep it stocked up. Another legacy I leave will be the formation of the League of Chairmen. For the benefit of our newly elected councillors, members are exclusively past chairmen of TDC. The aim of this group is to use the wealth of experience, contacts, and enthusiasm to support the current chairman, but also separately to continue the good work of supporting charities and people across the district for the good of all. And I am looking forward to becoming its newest member. My year as chairman has been an historic one. Celebrations for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee across the district, lighting a beacon in Clacton, parties everywhere. Then, of course, in September, a beloved Queen sadly died. An historic event for our country. I then had the huge honour of reading the proclamation of our new King on the steps of this town hall, a copy of which is now mounted in the chairman's parlour. And then, of course, we have just recently had the King's coronation, with yet more celebrations taking place across the district. I was privileged to represent Tendring at a special Buckingham Palace garden party in the presence of His Majesty the King and Queen 3 days before the coronation. This year has been a massive honour for me, and I feel very privileged to have been given this opportunity. There have been so many memorable events, too many to mention, even for me. Of course, there are civic duties, memorial events, air show, but it is meeting and having fun with the people at so many different events that was the real highlight for me and Lorraine. I'll never forget doing star jumps on stage with the Mad About Theatre Company, or dancing with Footsteps in Connaught Avenue, Frinton, or sparring with Seconds Out Boxing in Clacton, or playing petanque in Wheelie. But what I will say to the new incoming chairman, I hope you like having your picture taken, because you'll have thousands taken, which will end up in social media and on the internet, and you certainly have to be a good sport. Finally, I want to say a few more thank yous. Firstly, thank you to Mother Louise for her prayers, words of wisdom, and personal support throughout the year. Thank you to my Vice Chairman, Val Guglielmi, for her support. I will miss her tremendously. And thank you to my consort and wife for her unwavering support, who has been by my side throughout. We often forget the impact of what we do on our partners and family. But I am afraid I must now prepare to catch up on 12 months worth of DIY. Thank you again to former leader Neil Stock and to Councillor Carlo Guglielmi in particular for putting me forward for the chairman's role. But also a big thank you to all of you, the members past and present, for being so well behaved and making my job so easy. Thank you, and I wish the chairman the very best of luck. Thank you. So item number 4 on the agenda is the election of the council, the chairman of the council for the coming year. Can I receive nominations, please? So Councillor Stevenson.
Chairman, I would like to propose Councillor Gary Scott.
And seconded, please.
And I would like to second Councillor Gary Scott.
Thank you. Okay, any more nominations? Councillor Guglielmi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to propose Councillor Linda McWilliams.
Thank you. Thank you. And seconded, please. Councillor Paul Hayward. Thank you. Okay, if we can go back to the nomination of Councillor Scott, Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I'll make it a quick speech for Councillor Scott, but I believe his track record speaks for itself. Councillor Scott is one of our longest serving councillors, having been elected in a by-election in 2002, to which he has remained the ward champion to this very day. His accolades include former chairman of community leadership, former chairman of the Development Control Committee, former chairman of the Scrutiny Committee, vice chair of the Community Management Committee, and vice chair of Resource and Service and Value and Scrutiny. I believe his credentials will serve him well in this role alongside his service and dedication to his ward, this council and the wider district. There's plenty more I could say, Chairman, but I will leave this to his seconder, and I'm more than happy to propose Councillor Scott, as I think he will make an excellent chairman of the council.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. Councillor Wiggins.
Thank you, Chair. I'm delighted to second Councillor Gary Scott for chairman of Tendring District Council. Over the last 20 years that I have known him, he has been on Aylesford Parish Council. He has been chairman of and treasurer of the Autumn Centre in Brightlingsea, and he has always wanted the best for where he lives. So being nominated for chairman of District Council, he will be able to continue to getting the best for Tendring. And I know that he will do a tremendous job, especially if there is tea and cake. Thank you. And I'm so happy to be the seconder.
Thank you very much. And moving over to Councillor Guglielmi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Councillor McWilliams is one of the most experienced members of this council. She was elected in 2007, and she has an amazing proven track record of working with partners in health, education, volunteer services, and all the blue light services. She's very highly thought of and such a hardworking in herself. She has been brilliant at engaging with partners. She's been instrumental in bringing into this council well over £5 million worth of funding, which has benefited huge amount of people throughout the district in various different streams. I will not go into every single one of them, Chairman, because we'll be here all evening. She's extremely well liked by members as well as officers in this organisation. Her compassion and dedication are second to none. She has served on no less than 11 different committees and boards of partners, including Essex County Council. And I know she attends every single one of them, even now. She will make an excellent chairman of this council, great ambassador for tendering, and she will be a valuable asset to this authority. It is my greatest pleasure, Mr. Chairman, to propose her for the position of Chairman of Tendring District Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Guglielmi. And seconder, Councillor Paul Honeywood.
Thank you, Chairman. I think anyone who's served on this council before knows Linda. They know that she's approachable, kind and caring and will help anyone. In fact, as well as compliments from our side of the council, she's often received compliments from the other side of the council. So I think she'll be a brilliant ambassador for this organisation, and I have no hesitation in seconding her. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Honeywood. And now we will go to a vote, which will be a named vote. Mrs. Davidson.
Thank you, Chairman. I will read out your name. Please state whether you're voting for Councillor Scott, Councillor McWilliams, or abstaining. Councillor Alexander.
Councillor McWilliams.
Councillor Amos. Councillor Baker. Councillor Barrett. Councillor Barry. Councillor Ben-Silem.
Councillor Scott.
Councillor Bray.
Councillor McWilliams.
Councillor Bush. Councillor Calver.
Councillor Scott.
Councillor Casey. Councillor Chapman. Councillor Cooling. Councillor Codling.
Councillor McWilliams.
Councillor A. Cousins. Councillor M. Cousins. Councillor Davidson. Councillor Doyle.
Councillor Scott.
Councillor Everett. Councillor Fairley. Councillor Ferguson. Councillor Fowler.
Councillor Scott.
Councillor Griffiths.
Councillor McWilliams.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor McWilliams.
Councillor Harris.
Councillor McWilliams.
Councillor Henderson. I. Henderson. Councillor J. Henderson.
Councillor Scott.
Councillor P. Honeywood.
Councillor McWilliams.
Councillor S. Honeywood. Councillor Cots. Councillor Land. Councillor Leonard.
Councillor Scott.
Councillor McWilliams.
Councillor McWilliams.
Councillor Morrison.
Councillor Scott.
Councillor Newton.
Councillor Scott.
Councillor Oxley. Councillor Placey. Councillor Platt. Councillor Scott. Councillor Skeels. Councillor Smith. Councillor Steady.
Councillor Scott.
Councillor G. Stevenson. Councillor M. Stevenson.
Councillor Scott.
Councillor Sudra. Councillor Talbot. Councillor Thompson.
Councillor Scott.
Councillor Turner.
Councillor McWilliams.
Councillor White. And Councillor Wiggins. Thank you, members.
Okay, members, the result of that vote is Councillor Scott 29, Councillor McWilliams 19. I hereby declare that Councillor Scott has been duly elected as the chairman of Tendring District Council. And I would now like to invite Councillor Scott to join me here, please.
I now invite Councillor Scott to make and sign his declaration of office. Thank you.
I, Gary Scott, having been elected to the office of Chairman of Tendring District Council, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of according to its best of my judgment and ability. Thank you very much, councillors. It's really humbling that councillors have voted for me. Yeah, I'm really grateful. A few words. I'd like to pay tribute to Councillor Peter Harris on his excellent role as chairman of the council in the previous year, and I wish Councillor Harris all the best in going forward next few years. For my announcements as chairman, I'm going to have two charities this year for my chairman of office. I'm going to have the Autumn Centre in Brightonsea, and the other charity is CSVT, which helps all voluntary groups across the district, so they can help local groups in our wards at TDC area. I have no announcements, but anything else I will say in the future meeting. Item number 7. Councillor Harris, I'd like to present you the past chairman's badge. Thank you. Replied the other past chairmans. No doubt I will see you way round
On the other side.
Much
Thank you very much. Thank you.
appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd just like to say thank you once again. It's been a huge honour and privilege to undertake this role. I wish Councillor Scott all the luck in the world, and you know, the League of Chairmen will be here to support you whenever you need us, and I'll be very happy to help you in anything. So, thank you very much. Thank you.
Can we have a final round of applause for Councillor Harris, please? Sure, Councillor Harris, if I need any advice on chairmanship, I will come and see you. Item number 7, announcements by the Chief Exec. Sorry. Right, beg your pardon. Item number 5, appointment of Vice Chairman of the Council for 23-24. Pursuant to procedures of Section 5 of the Local Government Act 1972, the council will appoint its vice chair for the coming year. Do we have any nominations, please? Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman, and congratulations on your new post. Can I propose Dan Casey for Vice Chair, please?
And seconder, please.
Sorry, I'd like to second Dan Casey.
Are there any other nominations, councillors? Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman. I first became aware of Councillor Casey, Dan as we all know him, when he won the by-election for what was then the Golf Green Ward. It was a close call, if I remember, and winning by only 5 votes. I'm sure that night led to a few recounts. Dan went on to win as an independent in 2019 and now in 2023. Working hard for residents of Jaywick, his popularity grew. Some residents even referred to him as a man of the people. Popular, loyal, always working hard in his ward and taking his responsibilities to TDC seriously, Dan has always demonstrated some of the good qualities needed to be a vice chairman of this council. And like Councillor Scott, I could say more, but I would leave that to his seconder. And so, Chairman, I propose that Councillor Casey be the vice chair of this council.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. Now, Councillor Chapman.
Thank you, Chairman. Councillors, it gives me great pleasure to second the nomination for Councillor Casey. Councillor Casey is a well-known and well-respected councillor whose only aim is to serve the people who voted for him. His popularity speaks for itself in the outside bodies he serves on. He's one of the organisers of the Veterans Tea Dance, President of Clacton Royal British Legion, Chairman of Tendring Community Transport, the Life President of Jaywick Forum, Vice Chair of the Happy Club, and so the list goes on. Dan is a true gentleman in every sense of the word, and I am sure he will do a good job in supporting the new chairman. It's an honour to second the proposal.
Thank you, Councillor Chapman. We will go to the vote. It's been proposed by Councillor Stevenson and seconded by Councillor Chapman. Please raise your hands in favour. Thank you. Any of those against? Abstentions? It's carried. Councillor Dan Casey, congratulations. You're now my vice chair. You like to come up here?
Councillor Casey, I'd now like to ask you to read out and then sign your declaration of office for Vice Chairman of Tendring District Council. Thank you.
Having been elected as Vice Chairman of Tendring District Council, I declare that I take upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
Now, the vice chair would like to say a few words.
Firstly, I'd like to give my good wishes to Val. I've known Val a long time. We sat across the table, whatever, and we've always been pretty good friends with each other, etc. So can you pass them on, please? God, thank you. And thank you for all the good people putting the trust in me and the vice chair. I'll do the best I can. That's all I can say to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, item number 6, announcements by the chairman. I only have a couple. As I said previously, my 2 charities for this year will be CSVT and the Autumn Centre in Brightonsea. I will announce my chaplain at the next full council in July. So you will know who that person is nearer the time. I don't have anything else at the moment to say, but thank you very much for electing me as chairman of council for this numerous year. Thank you. Item number 7, announcements made by the chief exec, if any.
I have none, thank you, Chairman.
Item 8, report of the chief exec. A1, membership of the political groups, including their leaders and deputy leaders.
Thank you, Chairman. It's in the agenda, but with the addendum as printed, which is before you.
Item number 9, election of leader of the council. Do we have any nominations for leader of the council? Councillor Baker.
Thank you, Chairman. Congratulations on your appointment with your vice chairman. I would like to propose that Councillor Mark Stevenson be elected leader of Tendring Council for the next 4 years.
And do we have a seconder?
Mark Stevenson's nomination as leader of this council. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Talbot. Do we have any? Councillor Fairley.
Congratulations, Chairman, to yourself and your Vice Chair.
Thank you.
I'd like to nominate Carlo Guglielmi as leader for the next 4 years. Thank you.
And do we have a seconder? Councillor Bray.
Thank you, Chairman, and my congratulations too on your election to Chairman. I would like to second the nomination for Carlo Guglielmi as leader of the council. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Baker, the proposer, would like to speak on your nomination, please.
Thank you, Chairman. It'll be very brief. Mr. Chairman, councillors, I've known Councillor Mark Stevenson for over 8 years, not only as a district councillor, but a county councillor, and for the last 3 years, a close personal friend. I know him to be hardworking, accessible councillor, doing the best he can for all the residents of his ward and county division. He is dedicated and committed to the residents of Tendring and this council, and I strongly believe he is the person to be leader of this council from now on. Personally, I look forward to working with Mark and, of course, every other councillor here, new or re-elected, as per our council motto, pro bono omnium, for the good of all. I hope you will all support my proposal for Councillor Mark Stevenson to be leader of Tendring District Council. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. And your seconder, Councillor Talbot?
Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted to have the opportunity to second Mark Stevenson for the post of leader of this council. I think Mark has worked hard up until now. When you look at the work that he's done with the committees that we have on the council, and in particularly the scrutiny committee, which he's turned from an ordinary committee into a jewel in the time that he's been chairman of that committee, I think that is a good lead as to the sort of leader we're likely, I hope, to be elected. Reference has already been made by the retiring chairman to the fact that perhaps I like a drop of rum. So in congratulating Mark and hoping that he is chosen by everybody as leader of this council, I'd just like to say I'd like to splice the main brace with him. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Talbot. Councillor Felly.
Thank you, Chairman. Since I became a councillor in 2015, Carlo has been deputy leader of this council. He has a huge amount of experience as a councillor, not just for tendering, but he's also a long-standing, committed and experienced Essex County councillor, as well as being a parish councillor working for residents at the very heart of his community. Carlo's commitment to his role is exemplary. He has a proven track record of working with parish councils, fellow councillors, council officers and many partners at every level, representing our district in every way. He takes every opportunity to make a positive difference. He always gives 100% effort, attending internal and external meetings, supporting the needs of our district. He does not slack. Within this council, he sets a strong example to others by attending all member briefings, member training sessions, development opportunities, webinars and external conferences. He is passionate about encouraging others to do the same, to be the best councillor they can for our district. And that's a leadership quality I respect. For new councillors who don't know Carlo, as deputy leader, he's had the responsibility for corporate finance and governance of this council. You might ask why that matters. Well, it matters because if we want what is best for the residents of Tendring, we will absolutely need that experience, stability and knowledge in the leader's chair. Within the last 4 years, despite some seriously challenging circumstances, he's been a major influence in bringing forward some great successes. Levelling up funding totalling £26.5 million, Freeport status for Harwich, and the receipt of well over £5 million from our health partners, to name but 3, as part of the administrative team. He has also ensured £1.2 million of new bonus funding in 23-24 has been set aside to support the new administration. We know some councils have faltered or called a halt to projects due to finances, while tendering has remained stable and consistent in delivery. Please think about why this is. With respect to all, we have serious challenges ahead. I would ask you to vote for the person best equipped and best experienced to hit the ground running and to move at pace. Looking to the future, I believe we need a leader with a proven track record who already has the experience and knowledge, together with the existing internal and external relationships, to do the very best for our residents and for our council. Stability, confidence, reassurance. These are the reasons I would like to propose Carlo Guglielmi as leader. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Felly. And now councillor Bray, your seconder.
Thank you, Chairman. As the largest party group here tonight, we have a duty to offer a strong and viable alternative to that put forward. It would not be appropriate for us not to. Members, we find ourselves in an extremely difficult time. Current cost of living crisis affects us as a council as well as our residents as individuals. Those residents look to us as their representatives to offer more and more help with less and less resource. I'm sure that some will blame the current government for that situation we find ourselves in. I would not wholly disagree. But the fact is, we are where we are. We need to make some extremely hard and unpopular decisions in the coming months and years. Councillor Guglielmi has for the past 8 years been the deputy leader of this council and held responsibility for its finance and governance. Working very closely with our former leader, Councillor Scott, Councillor Stevenson spoke of in glowing terms just a few short weeks ago. He has been pivotal in steering our council through a storm of issues not of our making. Thanks in no small part to the work he has done, this council is in a far stronger position to weather the storm than most. Indeed, we are the envy of many councils who find themselves in huge debt and a few who have had many of their powers and responsibilities taken away from them. You don't have to look far to see how easily and quickly it can all go wrong without a steady and experienced hand on the tiller. We cannot risk that happening here. Simply put, Councillor Stevenson, whom I know well, is a very good councillor. He may prove to be an excellent leader, whereas Councillor Guglielmi has proved to be an excellent leader and he's proven his ability many times over an extended period of time. So tonight is not the night for political posturing. It's not the time for party rosettes. Tonight is time to do its best for our district and the people of our district. I have no doubt that Councillor Stevenson will reach the goal that he seeks to achieve tonight. I just don't think tonight is the right night. Storm is raging. For the sake of our district and the people of our district, we simply must ensure that we have the most experienced and able captain at the wheel. We have one chance to get this right. There is no going back once the votes have been counted. So please, vote for the person that you genuinely believe is best qualified, best able to do the job. This is about the future. It's about the future of tendering, district, this council, and the people of the district. May yet prove to be the most important vote you cast. Please cast it wisely. Thank you for listening, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Councillor Bray. Now we will go to the vote. Chief Exec will do the vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. So I will call out your name. Please state whether you're voting for Councillor Stevenson or Councillor Guglielmi. Can I also ask that when you, just before stating who you're for, can you please ensure you put your microphones on, as this is being broadcast live, and therefore without your microphone, people cannot hear you on the broadcast. So if you could press your button and then when you've voted, please switch it off again. Okay. Councillor Alexander.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Amos. Councillor Baker.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Barrett.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Barry.
That's an error. Sorry, somebody's spoken for me.
Okay, so I'm going to start again. Be absolutely clear of the full vote then. You please ensure you wait for your name to be called. Councillor Alexander.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Amos.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Baker.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Barrett.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Barry.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Ben Sillam.
Councillor Stevenson.
Councillor Bray.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Bush.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Calver.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Casey.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Chapman.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Codling.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor A. Cousins.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor M. Cousins.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Davidson.
Councillor Stevenson.
Councillor Doyle.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Everett.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Fairley.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Ferguson.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Fowler.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Griffiths.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Thank you. Councillor Harris.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor I. Henderson.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor J. Henderson.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor P. Honeywood.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor S. Honeywood.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Cox.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Land.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Leonard.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor McWilliams.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Morrison.
Councillor Stevenson.
Councillor Newton.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Oxley.
Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Placey,
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Platt,
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Scott,
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Skeels,
Councillor Guglielmi.
Councillor Steady,
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Smith,
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor G Stevenson,
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor M Stevenson,
Councillor M Stevenson.
Councillor Sudra,
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Talbot,
Councillor Mark Stevens.
Councillor Thompson,
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Councillor Turner,
Councillor Carlo Guglielmi.
Councillor White,
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
and Councillor Wiggins.
Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Thank you, members.
Thank you, councillors. The officers are just going to count up the votes and they'll be announced shortly. Thank you, Chief Exec. The votes cast for Councillor Mark Stevenson, 29, and Councillor Carlo Guglielmi, 19. So I declare that Councillor Mark Stevenson is the new leader of Tendring District Council. Councillor Mark Stevenson, as leader of the Tendring District Council, could you please approach the bench where you would have to read your declaration of office?
I, Mark Stevenson, having been elected to the office of leader of the Tendring District Council, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations, Councillor Mark Stevenson, the new leader on Tendring District Council. Item number 10, appointment of Deputy Leader of the Council, Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman. And before I appoint the Deputy Leader of the Council, I just want to say a few thanks. I think the first thanks would be actually to the people who voted me in. I'm very humbled and it's been a long road to get here. And I think many of you know how hard we've worked to get to this point. And I'm very, very grateful for everything that we've all achieved. I'd also like to thank Peter Harris. As the outgoing chairman, he was one of the hardest working chairmen I've known on TDC. He represented and showcased TDC at its very best. There were comical moments, such as the Santa run with Councillor Bray, with 50-odd Santas, and there were moving moments when I watched him push one of the oldest veterans to meet the parachute regiment at our air show. And I would like to thank him personally for being one of the most active chairmen I have ever known on this council. I'd also like to say a big thank you to the election staff who held our election for us. And as far as I'm aware, the swan it was, glided beautifully along, whilst I'm sure the officers would tell me the paddling was frantic underneath. But I'd like to send, on behalf of this council, my personal thanks to the staff. And so on to the appointment of my deputy leader of the council. So the appointment of my deputy leader of the council will be Councillor Henderson. I've known Ivan for quite some time, and I'm not going to make a long speech about it, but Ivan and I have worked continually together for the better part of 8 years, and I couldn't think of anybody better to be my right-hand man. So I move for Ivan Henderson.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. Councillor Ivan Henderson, Deputy Leader of the Council. Is there anything you would like to say at the Council?
Thank you, Chairman, and congratulations to you for your election as Chair, and I wish you good wishes for the coming year. I just want to say thank you to the leader for having the faith to put me in this place, and I just look forward to every minute of this time to do as much as I can for my residents of the whole of the Tendring district, as I've done before for 8 years when I was former MP. When we talk about experience, I think we've got plenty of experience on this side, and I look forward to working with that experience in the future. Thank you very much, Leader.
Thank you, Councillor Henderson. Item number 11, the appointment of members of the Cabinet. Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman. Tonight I will be appointing my Cabinet. I can confirm that I will appoint the following members to form the Council's Cabinet, and tonight will simply refer to the main areas of their portfolios. However, I intend to provide the detail of the full titles and responsibilities in the next few days. As leader, I will also be the portfolio holder responsible for finance and governance. The deputy leader, Councillor Ivan Henderson, will also be the portfolio holder responsible for economic growth, regeneration and tourism. Councillor Andy Baker will be portfolio holder for responsibility for housing and planning. Councillor Mick Barry will be portfolio holder with responsibility for leisure and public realm. Councillor Gina Placey will be portfolio holder for responsibility for partnerships. Councillor Peter Cots will be portfolio holder with responsibility for assets, and Councillor Mike Bush will be portfolio holder for the responsibility for environment. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. Item number 12, size of the membership of the committees. They're on your agendas.
Thank you, Chairman. I'll just move as is written. It's just for noting. Thank you.
All agreed? Thank you. Item 13, allocation of seats on committees and subcommittees to the political groups formed on Tendring District Council.
Thank you, Chairman. The group leaders met to form this allocation of seats with the wonderful Ian Ford, Widdicombe being his favourite game, and I so move the agenda item number 13.
Do we have a second to that, please? Councillor Baker. Councillors, all councillors, your paperwork for the Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Councillor Guglielmi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations on you both, yourself and Councillor Casey for your appointment. I have to say I'm slightly disappointed to find this item in front of us at the very last 11th hour when a horse trading meeting took place on Monday about representation and the committee seats, and to find a lengthy report emailed quite late this afternoon and in front of us, it would have been better if this would have been discussed on Monday's meeting when the committee places were the subject of the discussion. So I am disappointed that we only got to hear about Councillor Casey's not being part of the independent group at such a late time in the day.
So no one else wish to speak? Now back to you, Councillor Stevenson.
Sorry, Chairman. I moved and seconded. Does it not go to the vote? Recommendations?
Would you like to go for the vote? All in favour? Show of hands, all in favour? Those against? Abstentions? That's carried, thank you. Item number 14, the appointment of the membership of the committees for 2023-2024 municipal year.
Thank you, Chairman. I move this as it is, but I do notice that we have an unallocated seat on the Licensing and Regeneration Committee, and the council needs to have all of its seats taken. So I will be proposing that we give the seat to Councillor Dan Casey, who unfortunately hasn't got any committee seats because he is sitting on his own as a one member. Very much.
Seconder? Councillor Baker. All in favour, show of hands. Oh, sorry. Councillor Guglielmi.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is linked to my previous statement. The fact that I don't think people in this chamber fully appreciate the fact that the licensing committee must be made up by 10 members. It's a constitutional requirement, not just of this council, but it's a national constitution that the licensing committee has been made up by 10 members. Without 10 members on it, it cannot function and it cannot be constituted and it cannot discuss any business. Linked with the previous item, which I made a statement on, I would have liked to postpone this until the next full council meeting. We'll lose the vote anyway, but I think the point has got to be made that we will not be opposing Councillor Casey on the licensing because it's vitally important that he does take the appointment on that. The licensing committee is properly constituted, and it would have been nice to have been notice of this before tonight's meeting, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman. I think I'm just quite happy to go with the vote, if that's okay with the rest of the council, please.
Thank you. We'll show of hands, agreed? All those in favour? Any against? It's carried, thank you. Item number 15, appointment of the Town and Parish Council Standard Subcommittee for the 2023-24. This is just for noting. Item number 16, election of chairman and vice chairman of committees for 2023-24 for the municipal year. Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman. I believe we've all got an agenda item 16 in front of us with a complete list of our chairs and vice chairs, with the exception of Resources and Services and Overview and Scrutiny Committee. As is in the spirit of the previous administrations, this side will be abstaining from this vote and you will be picking your own chairman and vice chairman as per the Constitution. Thank you.
Can't just put his hand up.
Members, can I just clarify therefore that is that therefore I think what you're proposing, just to be clear, is that you are voting on all of the chairman and vice chairman on this sheet with the exception of resources and services overview and scrutiny. And you will then vote on that and asking the Conservative group to then nominate those, the overview and scrutiny. Would you like to clarify that?
Councillor Stevenson.
Said far more eloquently and much clearer than I did. Yes, that's exactly what we do.
Go to the vote. Members, so just to clarify now then, the chairman will ask you to go to the vote, and you will be going to the vote from all of the committees, with the exception of resources and services overview and scrutiny, as per your agenda item 16, which is on your desk. Thank you.
So councillors, all in favour of those, show of hands, please, of those committee places? Those against? Abstentions? Thank you. One abstention. Councillor Guglielmi.
Carried.
That previous one is carried. Now we go to Councillor Guglielmi for the Resources and Services Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I'm very happy that Councillor Stevenson has carried on the tradition that we introduced in this council about 12 years ago, in the spirit of inclusiveness, and to ensure that there is enough scrutiny on matters that, as we heard earlier in the evening, are going to be even more so important now, to ensure the financial well-being of the authority it's looked after. And in the spirit of cooperation, as we've done in the past, I think the system has worked extremely well. And as I said, I'm delighted that Councillor Stevens carrying on with that system. And I would like to propose Councillor Honeywood as a chairman of the Resources Service Scrutiny Committee, and Councillor Mark Cousins as his vice chairman. Thank you.
And the seconder, please. Councillor Zoe Fairley. If you'd like to go to the vote, please. Sorry,
It's
Guglielmi.
Councillor Paul Honeywood, not Susan Honeywood, for the records. Freak it out.
It's Sue almost had a fright there. Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Guglielmi and seconded by Zoe Fairley on the Resource and Service Group for the chairman to be Councillor Paul Honeywood and Councillor Mark Cousins. All in favour, please raise your hands. I think that's all carried. And abstentions? Any against? That's carried. Thank you. Item 17, report of the monitoring officer A2, the council's constitution, pages 9 to 10. Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Chairman, I think this was more just of a noting. Okay. Okay. So the recommendation that the council constitution is be affirmed, I so move it.
Seconder, please. Councillor Baker. All those in favour, show hands, please. Any against? Abstentions? That's carried. Thank you. Item number 18, reference from Cabinet A3, programme of meetings 23-24 municipal year, pages 11 to 18. Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm going to move the recommendations on page 11. I believe I've got this right. I will be one. My deputy leader will be one. We've offered. No, got it wrong. Okay. Fair enough. I'll move the recommendation as written on page 11.
Show of hands of approval, councillors. That's carried. Thank you. Item number 19, appointment of member authority representatives to serve on at the General Assembly of the Local Government Association, the LGA. Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Try again. This time possibly on the right one. Yes, Chairman, I'm quite happy to move this. Our representatives will be Councillor myself, Councillor Ivan Henderson, as instituted by the Constitution, and the third seat was given, as in the spirit of the previous administration, to the opposition, and I believe Councillor Guglielmi is going to take that seat as well. Thank you.
Seconder, Councillor Baker. All in favour? Show of hands, please. Those against? Abstentions? That's carried. Thank you. Item 20, appointment of Tendring District Council's representatives to serve on the Tendring Colchester Borders Garden Community Joint Committee. Councillor Mark Stevenson.
Thank you, Chairman. To follow the recommendation on the front of the agenda, the appointment of the planning will be the Planning Policy and Local Plan Nick Turner. The member from the political group is not represented, was graciously accepted by Councillor Guglielmi. A member from the council's members to be appointed, such as the council substitute member, will be Councillor Baker, and the leader will be requested to appoint a member of the cabinet, which will be Councillor Mike Bush. This will provide continuity from the previous administration and is the best for tendering. Thank you very much.
Councillor Guglielmi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I totally agree with Councillor Mark Stevenson. I thank him for the appointment on the Tendring Colchester border. This is probably one of the most important projects that the council has undertaken. Unlike other authorities, we've been very united on this item for ever since it's come in front of members for voting. We have demonstrated that we can work together. We recognise the importance of what this project will deliver for our residents, and also the requirements of the planning laws that kept on changing as they progressed, and we managed to break through that. I'm delighted that continuity will be the theme of our representation on that committee, which has been extremely successful so far. Reg 19 consultation was launched just before this, soon after the elections, and it's vitally important that we still collate as many people's views on it, so that the development planning document can be shaped in the best possible format that we can. And I urge, and I don't think there's any need to urge everyone, but I know we will all be united on this, because we have been in the past, and I look forward to working with the same people again. Thank you.
Councillor Guglielmi, would you like to second it? Okay, it's been moved by Councillor Mark Stevenson and seconded by Councillor Carlo Guglielmi. In favour of that, or raise hands all in favour, please. Those against? Abstentions? That's carried. Thank you. Okay, the next meeting of the council is Tuesday, the 11th of July, 2023, 7:30 at the Prince's Theatre here. And now I close the meeting, and thank you very much for attending, and the public for attending too.
Please be upstanding.